What's going on, everyone? Kevin here doing another Gatecrash 8-4 draft for channel Mana Leak. Gonna see how this one goes. Did alright on the last one, and I played in one last night. Drafted my first Simic deck, and I thought it was pretty crappy, but I ended up actually winning the 8-4, so pretty happy about that. So I've made it to the finals on 2 in a row. So let's see if my decent streak continues or if I crash and burn. Alright, well, we opened a Balm for sure. Clan Defiance, one of the best rares in the set, if possibly the best rare in the set. It just often is a complete blowout 3-for-1. I know you know how to read, but just in case you don't know, you pay red and a green and X mana, and you can deal X to target creature with flying, target creature on the ground, and target player. So if you pay 5 mana, you can deal 3 to an air guy, 3 to the ground guy, and 3 to the face. And that is just an awesome card. We're definitely taking that, for sure, but other cards I like in this pack, not Skullcrack. It's not really a very good limited card. Boros Charm is a good limited card. You can deal 4 to a player if you want to, or you can make your guys indestructible or give double strike. I think it's pretty good in a Boros deck. I would definitely run it. Dinrova Horror is good. It's 4-4. It's often kind of like a removal spell. Assault Griffin's fine. Slaughterhorn's pretty good. Smite, hopefully, it doesn't really look like anything's going to come back for us, but we're definitely taking Clan Defiance. Okay, there's a common taken out of this pack, or possibly a mythic. Not really sure which one of those comes out, but Grizzly Spectacle is probably my favorite common in the set. Could take it. I mean, obviously can't really get a signal from pick 2. Throw Parasite is pretty good in a Extort type of Orzhov deck. Grizzly Spectacle is good in any deck that can run it, basically. I like Madcap skills a lot, and I might take it here because I really want to play Clan Defiance. You don't really want to get locked in to a particular deck right away, and I might overrate Madcap skills, but in a Gruul deck with lots of creatures, it's pretty good. This pack is loaded with black, though. Throw Parasite's good. Balustrade Spy I like. Death's Approach is okay in a deck where you can mill them. In Grizzly Spectacle, this is a tough pick. I'm actually going to take the Grizzly Spectacle. I just think it's so strong. Okay, and immediately wish that I would have taken the Mad Skills. But Glur, that's okay. It's only pick 2. We did lose out on a Madcap. I do like Madcap a lot, but not as much as Grizzly Spectacle. And so if black was going to be flowing heavy, you know, if there was another Grizzly Spectacle in this pack, for example, I mean, we would just have to say, okay, black must be really open. But in this pack, there's actually lots of good Gruul cards. The Rampager is awesome, and I'm going to take it for sure. The Swine is also really good. I really like Ember Beast, and hopefully something will wheel out of this pack, because the Swine would be good. Even the Green Side Watcher is okay. I mean, it's only a 2-1 for 2, but it trades and it can be alright. But we're definitely taking the Rampager. That's a sweet card. Okay. So there's actually a few cards for us in here. This is I don't want to say a late Sky Knight Legionnaire because it's only 4th pick, but it probably means that nobody to our right is running Boros, unless they just took something, one of the few cards that's better than this. This is a very strong Boros card. I could take it, but I do love both my Gruul cards. I mean, I could splash a Clan Defiance in a Boros deck. You know, it's only 1 grain, so it's not like, I mean, I'm definitely playing a Clan Defiance if I'm playing any Boros deck. I'm definitely splashing it. And Disciple of the Old Ways and Massive Raid are both pretty good also. If you have a lot of creatures, Massive Raid's good, otherwise it's not that great. But if you have a lot of creatures, it is strong. I think I'm going to take the Legionnaire here and see if we just get tons of Boros cards. So as I say that, of course, there's not only no Boros cards in this pack, but there's not really any Gruul cards. I'll probably take the Act of Treason. I like to run 1, maybe 2. It's a good finisher. You can clear the way for your big guys, especially if you're going to be blood rushing in. You can, later in the game, clear way and make your guy big. This pack is just pretty bad all around. Way of the Thief, Tin Street, Guild Scorn, they're all pretty crappy. Millennial Gargoyle is okay. I could play it, but I think Act of Treason's better, and I could probably pick up a Millennial Gargoyle later. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, but yeah, not really a whole lot here for anyone. Undercity Informer's okay. Okay, so here it does look like black. Mediocre black is open. Call of the Nightwing is supposed to be very good. I haven't actually played it, so I can't really speak to that, but you can cipher onto him, so if they don't have any way to deal with a 1/1 flyer, you can start making a whole bunch of 1/1s. Slate Street Ruffian's fine. He's kind of a pain to block, but you block him once and kill him and discard a card, so it's not a big deal. Shadow Slice, I actually quite like in any kind of evasive type Orzhov or Dimir deck. It just does a ton of damage. Snapjaw is okay, but he dies pretty easy. I'm going to take the Ember Beast. I like Ember Beast quite a bit. Okay, I'm probably going to take the Ripscale Predator. As I've said in most of my drafts, it's generally a pretty fast format, although I think it's slowed down a little bit. A lot of people will draft Orzhov now, and it's not quite as super fast as it seemed originally, to me anyway, although, I mean, it's definitely a set you want lots of 2 and 3 drops for sure. So this is not it, but it is a 6/5 that's difficult to block. It's kind of got like a built-in madcap skills on it, almost. Best cards are probably these blue ones, like the Metropolis Sprite. I don't want a second Act of Treason right now. I want to build up some creatures, so that is a super late mugging. Wow. So a pick 8 mugging makes me wonder what's going on. I can't really be the only drafter at the whole table who's playing red. So someone else playing red must have really liked something better than mugging for it to get here. I'd also happily play the Scorchwalker. The Blood Rush is probably better than the card itself unless you have some way to get them in there, but the mugging is awesome. I'm very happy to grab that here. Okay. Totally Lost is alright. Metropolis Sprite is pretty decent, actually. I mean, you know, flyers are always kind of good. If you can grab some flyers, you're doing good. Stretch Roll Collapse sucks. The foil in here is a Plains. Shattering Blow isn't really amazing in this set. There's really any artifacts you want to kill. So I'm going to take the Guildgate in case I rip some sort of Boros card I really want to play. None of these cards are playable. They all suck, so I'm just going to pull the rare. Okay, again, none of these cards are great, but I'm going to take Naturalize for the sideboard. You never know what kind of enchantment you might need to be able to beat. Assemble the Legion and things like that are pretty tough to deal with in general. I'm going to take Burst of Strength. That's an okay trick. The best thing about it is it only costs 1 mana, and then you get to untap a creature, so you can kind of ambush guys with that, and it can be okay. I wouldn't mind playing it. I don't want to play a ton of them. It's not amazing, but I would play it. I guess I can hide the Grizzly Spectacle. I guess I'd be happier if I had a Madcap skills for sure. But, you know, pick 2. It's hard to tell. I do love Grizzly Spectacle. It is one of my favorite cards in the set, and especially in the common slot. I guess I just like black, because that and 1,000 Lashes are probably a couple of my favorite cards in the set for limited. Alright, here's pack 2. There's a couple choices for us. Obviously, we could rare draft a Breeding Pool. It's worth like $3.50 or $4. That's not nothing. And the fact is, there's not anything too amazing for me in here. Gruul Keyrune is okay. Like, I would play it, but I don't think it's that great. The Skinbrand Goblin is probably what I would take if I weren't going to rare draft this Breeding Pool. if you're watching this and you hate me for rare drafting a breeding pool, so be it. That's what I'm going to do, because Skin Brand is fine and I would definitely play it, but it's not great. So I'm going to take the breeding pool. Alms Beast, I actually like. It's a 6/6 for 4. Sure, it has a big drawback, but it's a 6/6 for 4. So deal with it or don't, but you're probably going to be in trouble if you do not. For us, there's just so many white cards in this pack. This time I might actually take the Skin Brand Goblin. I've seen people run Spire Tracer too. It's hard to block, but I'd want to have several Madcap skills to put on this guy. Then he can be pretty tough to deal with, but right now I only have one white card, a Sky Knight Legionnaire. I guess I have a lot of just red cards. I mean, I don't need to play a Burst of Strength. I could play red and just splash for Clan Defiance at this point. Let's see. What do I want to do here? I mean, I think the Assault Griffin or the Knight of Obligation are better, even in a Boros deck. But I'm going to take the 2-drop here, stick with red. I'd prefer to play Gruul at this point, because even though Legionnaire is good, my deck is, even if you take out, even if you just look at the fact that you take out Burst of Strength and you just look at the red cards I'm playing, like Mugging, Active Treason, Ember Beast, Ripscale Predator. I mean, these cards, sure, I could run them in a Boros deck, but Boros wants to be very, very fast, and my deck's not really made that way at the moment. I mean, it's still pretty early on, but I'm probably going to take the Slaughterhorn. I'm definitely taking the Slaughterhorn or the Swine here. Swimber, I actually like Nimbus Swimmer. He's slow, but if you drop him for 4/4 or 5/5, he's basically a dragon. So I think he's pretty strong. Obviously, I'm not going to splash blue for him, but it's good. So it's really between the Slaughterhorn and the Swine. I think I'd rather have the Swine. The +5/+4 Blood Rush is pretty strong, and the 3/2 guy, I mean, I would definitely happily play a Slaughterhorn, but I think I'd rather have the Swine. Maybe that's a bad choice. The Swine is just green, whereas this guy's green-red, so it's possible this could wheel to me if no one else is really drafting Gruul, but there's almost certainly somebody else drafting Gruul, even though that Mugging came to us pack 8. So I mean, you might want to give a little value to the possibility that this would wheel, whereas the Slaughterhorn definitely will not. But anyway, back to this pack. Fire Fist Striker is definitely more of a Boros card. It's strong, but you have to have a lot of guys attacking. At this point, I definitely do need to pick up some guys. But I think I'm going to take the Ivy Lane Denizen. It is slower, and at this point I do only have 2 other green creatures, but I really like the Ivy Lane Denizen a lot, actually. And I don't think I'm going to be aggressive enough for the Fire Fist Striker. Okay. I mean, I could take another Active Treason. I don't think I want to do that. Herbis Protector is good, but even if I were going to splash white, I still have my guy up here, but even if I were going to splash white, he's double white, so to want to play him, I'd have to be playing Boros. I don't want to be splashing for a 2-white card. I do like it. I think it's a strong card. You get a 1/1 guy to chump block with, and you get a 4/4 flyer for 6. 4/4 flyer for 6 by itself is okay, so the added value is not nothing. For us, it's a Verdant Haven or a Ruination Worm. A Verdant Haven would be more important if I was going to try to splash something, which it doesn't look like I'm going to. The Ruination Worm's obviously expensive, but if we can hold down the fort a while, he might be able to win us a game. Okay, I like Balustrade Spy a lot, so it does look like black is kind of open. Definitely been a lot of black and white cards in this particular pack, mostly that we opened. I'm not sure what the guy behind us to the left must be running, but it's probably not black. Anyway, for us, Greenside Watchers, okay. Another Ivy Lane Denizen is what I'm going to take. Like I said, I do like it. I do need to pick up more green creatures. In fact, Greenside Watcher is better with the Ivy Lane Denizens, but these guys join together. If you get a couple of these guys out and you start running out green guys, you're going to be tough to beat. I could, just as a note, play Unexpected Results .deck. Apparently everyone's going to open Unexpected Results. Alright, so kind of like I said, I mean, not that Shadow Slice is amazing, especially if you don't have Evasion, but it is pretty sure. I think it's probably my favorite Cypher card. I do like Last Thoughts. In fact, in my Simic deck, Last Thoughts probably won me several games by itself, but Aether Eyes, of course, not playing blue, so it doesn't really matter. So here, I'm not going to play Merfolk of the Depths, so I'm just going to take the Spire Tracer. Okay, well, maybe no one's playing Simic. So the Krasis is awesome, so maybe no one's playing Simic, but I'm going to take the Shanktail. It's very good, and it's pretty good anyway. There's the Last Thoughts I was talking about. Crackling Perimeter, Tin Street, all these cards are pretty terrible. Alpha Authority seems pretty terrible also. I mean, I suppose you could put it on something, and I'm sure it could work at some point, but I'm going to take the On-Color Guildgate. Never hurts to really have an On-Color Guildgate, especially if your deck's not super speedy. And Boros, you probably wouldn't want a ton of them, but I don't want to play any of these cards. None of them are in my colors. I guess Bioshift, but I have zero. I mean, I guess with Ivy Lane Denizen, I could shift around +1/+1 counters, but I think I'd rather just take out the Aerial Maneuver. All these cards are pretty terrible too. I guess Mortis Strider is okay in Dimir if you have some, like an Undercity Informer or something. You can just keep sacking it over and over again, so I'll pull that out. And here, all these cards are pretty terrible again. This really doesn't do anything against us, really. I mean, I guess you could counter a Clan Defiance. Let's take the Riot Gear. I think it's more playable. I think they all suck, but... Alright, so take out the lands and the Legionnaire, because I'm not going to splash white for just that. At about 14 playables? Alright, well... This is a huge miss. I don't know how you can open a pack and not have one single card that's good for what you're running. Simic Manipulator is so good. There's not a single card in here that I want to play. I don't want to play 2 Bursts of Strengths. I'm probably just going to pull the Simic Manipulator. But other good cards in this pack. Killing Glare is very good. Grizzly Spectacle, like I said, is just super good. That's another card I could pull out, but I think I'd rather take the Simic Manipulator. I don't have any removal, really, other than a Clan Defiance and 1 Mugging. So a Simic Manipulator could just flat out beat us. Our deck's not looking that amazing at the moment. I'm not super excited about it. This pack is just loaded with black cards. Killing Glare, Grizzly Spectacle. Okay, I guess it's not loaded, that's 2. But Syndic of Tithes, this is an Orzhov pack if I've ever seen one. I'm just going to pull out the Manipulator, though. And as I said earlier, it's probably my favorite card in the set, maybe? Obviously, it's not something we can play. Again, Drakewing Krasis is really good. I have a couple choices here. The Wasteland Viper is pretty good. The 1/2 Death Touch, you can just drop him and either they remove him or you can just block who you want and kill him, or you can Blood Rush it to kill whatever you want. Ember Beast I like a lot, as I already said, and Croconura. Croconura is also very good. In fact, it's the first Croconura I've seen this draft. So the fact that we don't have a ton of green creatures very well might mean that someone is playing... Well, I don't know. If someone was playing Simic, these cards wouldn't be here, but maybe someone to our right is playing Simic. So the choices are, I like Massive Raid, but right now we don't have a lot of creatures, and I can probably get it later. So it's between the Croconura and the Wasteland Viper, even though I like Ember Beast a lot. And even though I really like Wasteland Viper, I think I need Croconura, because I just don't have anything, I don't have any interaction through the air. Okay. A little bit more removal, and a lot of stuff in here for us. So that's good. Ground Assault, removal, that's almost certainly what I'm going to take. Another Swine, a Croconura, and a Warmind Infantry. So I'd be happy taking any one of these 4 cards. And maybe I should take a creature, since I'm very low on creatures, and like Spire Tracer is not anything I'm excited to be playing. Both of these guys are green creatures for my 2 Ivy Lane Denizens. But I think I just have to take the Ground Assault. I mean, obviously I don't have to, but I'm light on removal other than Clan Defiance and Mugging, and I just think Ground Assault's the best card. I do think these 3 are very good. If I wasn't going to take the Ground Assault, I'd take the Croconura for sure. But I think I'm going to take the Ground Assault. Okay, things continue to look good for Team Gruul. So, at this point, these packs look pretty good for Gruul. In fact, the only really good cards in here are Gruul. Experiment 1, the Guild Mage, the Slaughterhorn. In fact, those are really the only 3 cards I'd even want to play out of this pack. And so they're all in our colors. I think I'm going to take the Guild Mage. Our deck is a little underpowered at the moment, and even though he's kind of slow, his 4/4 elemental ability to turn your lands into 4/4s is pretty strong. I'd love to have the Slaughterhorn. I'd like the Experiment 1 well enough, but the Guild Mage, I don't think it's going to wheel, and I think I just have to take it now. It's too strong. Alright, so we go from all Gruul cards to no Gruul cards. The Wojek Halberdiers are very good in Boros. Not really sure. It definitely looks like someone's playing Boros to our right, because there hasn't been a lot of Boros cards. But then every once in a while you see this, or the late flying guy. So for us, really the only choice is Bomber Core, and I'm not super excited to play Bomber Core, but it is a creature, I guess. Yeah. So maybe no one is playing Simic, because that would be a pretty late Cloudfin Raptor. I'm fine with Wildwood Rebirth if you have a lot of Blood Rush. Here we only have 2, 3, 4? I guess we have 4. 4's not bad, and because it's an instant, you can pull it back. But I don't like this card. I think I'd rather just play the Gruul Guildgate. At this point, I am at 18 playables, so I am a little light. I'm gonna need to do something, but I'm very happy to pick up a Scab Clan Charger here. The 2/4 clogs up the ground, plus you can Blood Rush them. Out of all the cards in this pack, it's probably my favorite. Friloculus is alright too. I don't like the Veteran very much, even in Boros. Forced Adaptation, I would play as a 23rd card if I had to, but I wouldn't be happy about it. And Keymaster Rogue is okay, but Scab Clan Charger is for sure our pick. Hey, look at that. A very late Swine. So, in this pack, I think that was the one with the Croconura, and I took the Ground Assault, I think. I might be confusing my packs, but regardless, in fact, I guess I am confusing it, because there's 8 cards left, which means I haven't seen this pack yet. But I am definitely taking the Swine. This is the pack we opened, so clearly I was confused on the last pack. Man, this isn't good. I mean, I could take the Prophetic Prism, but I am just playing 2 colors, so I don't need it. And I have 2 Guild Gates, and I'm not splashing for anything. I think I'm just going to take a second Burst of Strength, and if I have to play it, I have to play it. Not super stoked about it, but I can't really play any of these other cards. Alright, so the Massive Raid came around. I'm definitely going to take it. Ugh, I do not want to play 3 Burst of Strengths, so let's see. Not going to play a Bioshift. And take one of these cards. I'm just going to take the Corpse Blockade. It's fine. I mean, maybe the Sprite's a better choice there, but I guess I'll take the Dimir Guildgate, make it harder for someone. Don't like to give free mana fixing this late, so if they want mana fixing, they can take it earlier. So this deck's not really very good. In fact, I'm at 22 playables, but if I have to run 18 land, that's fine, because my deck right now is pretty top heavy. I have several 4-drops, a couple 5-drops, a couple 6-drops. Clan Defiance can use as many as much mana as you want to give it. And the same with the Guild Mage. The Guild Mage is just a mana sink. So this deck definitely didn't come out the way I wanted it to. I have 2 Ivy Lane Denizens, which means whoever's playing green, whoever took all our green cards didn't want to play Ivy Lane Denizen because both of those got to us. Yep. I do have a fixer for blue, but I'm not going to splash Simic Manipulator. It's too cost heavy into blue. Probably could have had a pretty good Simic deck this draft, but I didn't really see it, and I didn't really want to go that way, so if I have to, I could play a Riot Gear too. So let's see what we got here. Those are cards I want to play. That's a card I'm not going to play. Those are 2 cards I am going to play. Not going to play. Cards I probably have to play but don't want to play. So again, Ivy Lane Denizen's probably not going to be very good for us because we have let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 green creatures. Alright, so the Ivy Lane might be okay. Obviously it's better in a deck where you have lots of green creatures. So this is the 20 I want to play for sure. That leaves me with a few not very good options. I'm not playing any of these cards. I'm not playing any of those cards for sure. Naturalize, I'm not going to run in my main deck for sure. So that's my 20. I can either play 1 or 2 Burst of Strengths, a Burst of Strength and a Riot Gear, all 3 of these cards, or I could just play 2 of them and 18 land, which is probably what I am going to do. I have a few 2-drops and a few 4-drops, but if you look at my 2-drops, like this one is not really a 2-drop. It wants to use a lot of mana. Ground Assault is good with lands, but whatever. These guys are all okay. 4, and I got 5-drops, 2 6-drops, and a Clan Defiance wants as much mana as you can give it. So I think I'm going to run 18 lands, which makes the decision between 1 or 2 Bursts of Strength. With 15 creatures, 2 Bursts of Strength is probably okay. And it's probably better than Riot Gear, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Again, this isn't the Gruul deck I was envisioning when I saw some early stuff, Clan Defiance and things. I don't think I really forced Gruul. I think it was kind of unclear, and it's very possible I just missed the signals. I saw some strong black early, which is why I took the Grizzly Spectacle over here, but it seemed like it dried up after that, so I don't know if those packs were just dry on black or what happened, but I'm going to run 18 land, and let's see, 8 and 8 is what they suggest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 and 10. I guess maybe 9 and 7. It might be too much mana, but I don't have many options, so that's what I'm going to do. I will see you in round 1.